2026 has already given us some of the coolest horror films that we've seen in recent history. Let's have a look at the rest of the year. My name's Ryan.
My name's Ben.
And this is Talk Scary to Me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ryan. How are we doing?
I'm very well, sir. How are you?
I am not too bad. As you have said in the intro, 2026, well, the first half of 2026 anyway, has had some absolute banger horror films. But we're looking forward into the rest of 2026, and we're going to be discussing some of our most anticipated horror films for the rest of the year.
That's right. I mean, as much as I want to talk about stuff that's come out this year that we haven't had a chance to talk to, that's coming in a couple of weeks. The rest of the year looks like it's going to be good. There's surprisingly not too much in the way of releases. They're not so frequent, but the ones that we have got coming out, I'm really excited to talk about them. Yeah,
like you said, the releases for the rest of the year are quite sporadic, where it seems like we've had so much congested into the first half of the year. We've not had a time or a second to breathe with horror films so far in 2026.
Yeah, and especially the last month. I mean, in the last, we're recording this second week of June. If you think about the last 6 weeks, we've had 4 pretty massive films in Obsession, Hockham, Passenger, and the fourth one it is Backrooms. There's a reason why I didn't remember that one.
I mean, Obsession and Backrooms has pretty much taken over the world at this point. The biggest talking point right now is how much money they're making at the box office, and they're dwarfing things like Mandalorian and Grogu, which is obviously a Star Wars IP. So it has been a good year for horror so far, you could say.
That's because you've seen Mandalorian, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Shite.
And that's that. So let's kick things off with probably could be our joint most anticipated for the rest of the year, or maybe one of our most anticipated films for the rest of the year, especially in the horror genre. But that is Evil Dead Burn. First of all, what is your opinion on the Evil Dead as a franchise?
It's arguably the most solid franchise for me in terms of consistency of quality.
Yeah.
I remember watching, I believe it was a Cody Leach video, and he said that the 2 horror genres he says that have never put out a bad film were Evil Dead and Scream. That has now obviously changed with a certain film that we're not going to talk about. But there's just no misses with Evil Dead.
No.
I absolutely loved the last Evil Dead film that come out fairly recently. It was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, fucking incredible. I loved that film so much. And there's a little bit of anxiety with this new film because the bar has been set so high for Evil Dead. You're like, are they going to drop the ball at some point? But judging by what they've done so far, no.
No.
I love the Evil Dead films, and this new one. I mean, I've seen the same trailer about 6 times in theaters, and I still get excited.
You don't get bored seeing it again.
No, and I think there's 2 parts of the trailer that have me really excited, and I'm awful with character names. But there's the shot of the woman at the lake that was obviously in the first one. Well, I say the first one as in Evil Dead Rise.
From the new generation of it.
Yeah, that's it as well. Like, we're very much in this new kind of, trilogy, because we've just had the announcement that Evil Dead Wrath's in the works. It's next couple of years.
Yeah, it's in production already.
Yeah, dude. Like, that's the kind of the faith they have in this franchise. I'm sure when we get around to the 2028 list, that's probably going to be top of our list again in terms of stuff we're looking forward to. Yeah, for sure.
Like you said, they just have no misses. Sam Raimi as a horror director and a writer is fucking brilliant. I mean, when the original Evil Dead came out, it was I'm sure shocking back then with like the gore aspect of it, the Deadites, how it was filmed.
Yeah.
Then Evil Dead 2 came out and Sam Raimi just turned the wackiness up to 100. Bruce Campbell said, yeah, let's fucking do this. And they created, I think, one of my favourite horror films of all time in Evil Dead 2.
Yeah. Like, listen, I like the Evil Dead films. My knowledge of them is not fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen, they're films that I like. And I think the fact that each edition is so good has kind of meant that I don't rewatch them a lot. It's an odd one. But with this new one, it's by far, fuck me, a massive fucking bumblebee has just flew in.
So the original trilogy of Evil Dead, the Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness, you can say that's the OG trilogy, that's the Bruce Campbell trilogy. Then they came out with The Evil Dead as a remake, which was in like the mid-2010s, which got received really, really well. Yeah. Really, people are really happy with it. Then there was also Ash vs. Evil Dead TV series, which absolutely slaps, by the way. If you haven't seen it...
I've never watched it.
Have you not? Oh my God.
No.
So just picture like Bruce Campbell at his wackiest from like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness and whack it into a couple seasons of a TV series, and it is brilliant. So, and then Evil Dead Rise, obviously coming out a few years ago, people still talk about that title card to this day being one of the best they've ever seen, with like floating above the lake, and then Evil Dead Rise just coming up from behind.
When I think of what's coming out for the rest of the year, and don't get me wrong, like the stuff that's coming out for the rest of the year is so much good stuff in there. Like, it's not super frequent, and we have been really quite spoiled the first part of this year.
There's been some big surprises, yeah.
That's it, yeah. I mean, there were films that that we kind of heard about early that, Obsession would never have been top of my list in terms of like most anticipated.
I don't think anyone would have had it.
No, if we were going to do this at the beginning of the year, like Return to Silent Hill would have been up there, purely because of how much I love those games. Backrooms would have been up there because of just the entire concept.
Yeah.
Perhaps Ready or Not 2 would have been up there, but...
Like well-established IPs, basically.
Yeah, so, and like, there's no mystery as to why Evil Dead is our number one of what we're looking forward to for the rest of the year.
So, would you agree it's your most anticipated horror for the rest of 2026?
Yes, but it is, if anything, it is joint with the film we're going to talk about next, which is Resident Evil.
Yes, Resident Evil. Another massive IP. Another IP that's had multiple films before, but still this edition is getting us excited for it.
I don't think there's ever going to be anything Resident Evil that I'm not excited for. Like I love the games. Like oh my God, this is going to test my fucking Hornet in my conservatory. That was the biggest thing I've seen in my fucking life. Like I love the Resident Evil games. Maybe 4 in particular. They all blend into one. Listen,
4 is the GOAT. 4 is Leon S. Kennedy in Spain. Yes.
Yeah. It's the best one.
That is the best one by far for me. I'm actually replaying through the Resident Evil games at the moment. Resident Evil 4, I would say I've completed in my lifetime maybe 25 times plus.
Insanity. I've maybe done it once. Yeah, dude. And what's your opinion on the films? Because this is they're so up and down.
So I think Resident Evil 1 is pretty strong.
It's the best one.
Yeah, it's hard because like they dip in and out of the lore while also adding original characters. Like Alice isn't a character in the games, who's Mila Jovovich?
Novak Djokovic.
So Novak Djokovic is the main star of Resident Evil. But they mix true to story and original stuff together, and sometimes it just got a bit overbearing towards the end.
For sure.
And the film quality wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Whereas this film looks very grounded, very realistic. It's directed by Zach Gregor, who we know done Barbarian and Weapons. Obviously, Weapons came out last year, was a huge hit for most people. It wasn't my favourite, I will admit.
Was it not?
No, I really found it quite mid.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know. I got a lot of stick for it last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised because I quite liked it.
I love Barbarian.
Yeah.
Weapons was okay for me.
Oh, shit. Okay.
This is an original story. It takes place in the same timeline as Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2 is Leon's first game where him and Claire Redfield go to Raccoon City Police Department, and that's where the game takes place. It's in the same universe as that, but an original story set elsewhere. And it's about someone who's running errands for medical supplies, and he gets caught up in the zombies, you know. So from the trailer that we had from it looks intense. It's going back to being scary because the Resident Evil films with Milla Jovovich just became more action based than actual horror, I would say.
Yeah, that's very much like it. So I haven't seen them all. I was quite a lot older when I watched even the first one. But
right.
When I remember seeing stuff like, what was it? There was one, was it Retribution?
Resident Evil Retribution, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing posters and trailers for that way back when, and I got the impression it was more of an action film, and it kind of felt like it had kind of abandoned horror, which is kind of a shame because that's where its roots are. And that's why I'm kind of looking forward to this new one because, like you just said, I've got a lot of faith in Kreger as a director. The trailer, I'm trying to avoid trailers just because spoilers, yeah, dude. Like, sorry to break the illusion to anyone, but it's not the filmmakers that do the trailer. It's the studio. So the studio probably don't care much about spoilers. You look at any number of films that have come out in the last year. Huge plot points are put in trailers because they're the bits that sell the film. So I'm trying not to watch the trailer. I've obviously seen it. It's been in theaters when I've seen other horror films. I'm super intrigued, and I always liked the games. I've loved the idea. I mean, I'm nowhere near as knowledgeable as you, but it's because you know it all. So this one, I think it's because it's a recognized name, and it's almost, it feels like this is something we know, but this is a fresh take on it, which was why I was looking forward to Return to Silent Hill, which I shouldn't have been looking forward to, because we'll talk about that eventually, because I watched it again the other night, and I was equally as angry as the first time I saw it. But yeah, this film it's definitely number 2, if not joint. I think if you ask me tomorrow, this could be my most anticipated of the year, along with Evil Dead.
Yeah, because they're two completely different horror films as well. Like Evil Dead is very much along the body horror, the gore, the shock factor with like the deadites and how much sick and pus and blood they can get into it. Whereas Resident Evil, especially this version, seems like it's going back to the horror survival element of this is just a regular person put into this situation, and they're not superhuman. But you have seen the trailer for it?
Of course, yeah.
There's also like an interview of Zach Gregor where he's talking about, and it shows a clip of the guy with a gun trying to shoot open a lock and just completely misses the lock because these aren't action heroes. They are real people. And if they've never used a gun before, they're not just going to shoot a lock off, first time. So I think that's where the strongest point will be, is it's very grounded, very realistic in this sort of phantasmic horror situation.
I feel that. And listen, these are quite clearly the two most anticipated. I want to talk to you about one that's coming out later on in the year. If anyone follows both of us on social media, you're a big superhero comic book guy. something I've never been super into. Like I fucked with Spider-Man as a kid. He was always my boy. But there's a film that I didn't even see coming until the trailer, or it was the trailer or the poster. I believe it was the poster got released. And I want to talk to you about Clayface because I know absolutely fuck all about this film.
Right, okay.
Tell me why I should be excited about this film.
So Clayface as a character in the DC universe is someone who can mold the way they look. So they change their appearance, basically. They can change their appearance, their voice. You know, like clay, you can mold it in certain ways. That's exactly what he can do. The film, a trailer has been released for it, and it's about basically a Hollywood actor who gets attacked one day, gets all cut up, and his face is just fucked and is disfigured. And I'm not sure how he gains his powers. I think they do like a medical experiment on him, but then he then starts to like, he's in the bath and like his facial expressions just like sink away and he becomes blanked face and his arms start like stretching out. And for a comic book hero / villain film, they are really delving into the body horror element in the horror genre. And it's something that we very, very rarely see attached to comic book, characters.
Yeah, so I've just looked up Clayface official trailer.
Yeah.
The thumbnail is fucking...
Is it where he's wrapped?
Is fucking
in the hospital?
Is fucking harrowing.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay, so I've not watched... Should I watch the trailer? I'm going to watch the trailer and you're going to get my reactions.
Yeah, watch the trailer right now. Let's do a live reaction.
Okay, so I've got it's on the DC and Warner Brothers YouTube account, and that's wild as well. Like this is a horror film.
Yeah, big time.
That is attached to DC. Cool, right. I am starting the trailer. Let's take a headphone out so I can actually hear it. Right, I'm starting the trailer now. He doesn't look well. Oh.
Yep, so he gets mashed up, disfigured.
Did he get fucked up, does he? Oh, he was quite handsome when he wasn't
like
mushed.
That.
Oh! Yo. Oh, his face has fallen off. What the fuck? Oh, his face has come off. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, okay, I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, and just imagine, last year, this same studio released Superman, which was full of colour, full of hope, full of that. And they got Supergirl coming out soon, yet in October they're releasing Clayface.
Yeah, there's nothing fucking colourful about that, is there?
No.
Jesus Christ. Oh, mate, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
See, now that's why it's one of the most anticipated, because it's great to see, like, especially in the comic book genre, them stepping out and doing something a bit out there, a bit wacky, a bit different. Because I think there has been this comic book fatigue with people, especially around Marvel and the MCU.
Dude,
so it's good to see DC do something a bit different.
Dude, when I tell you, I mean, we've probably had this chat before. I don't fuck with horror films. Jesus Christ, what did I just say? Well, I'm done. I've retired.
Clip it. Clip it.
Nah. I don't fuck with superhero films, man. I just think... Listen, I was on board until Endgame. And that was... For Marvel, that was it. I was done. I watched the Spider-Man film that came out with Andrew and Toby. It was a movie. DC I've never really fucked with. I love the Nolan films, but the fact that they've kind of they've actually given the green light to this Clayface movie is fucking nuts, because that's not even like, because when you look at that, sometimes you do have stuff, and you could argue that, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, they did have this horror element in like the Green Goblin sort of thing.
Yeah, Green Goblin especially.
There's a straight up horror scene in Spider-Man 2 when Doc Ock wakes up and his arms just start murdering doctors. Like that's
is a crazy, and a Sam Raimi, obviously.
Yeah, that's a straight up horror scene, like in a kid's film. But I think like that is really as hardcore as it's ever gotten. But for this studio to put their name to a horror film, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I
See, it's
don't,
a good one.
Yeah, I no longer question why you're that excited. We have now, it's either the 5th or the 19th installment of this franchise. I'm not sure anymore. Insidious has another film coming out.
Yes, Insidious Out of the Further is the official name.
I remember this was, correct me if I'm wrong, this must have been early 2010s. It was around the same time as the first Conjuring film. The first Insidious came out. You probably remember it as well as I do. Like, it was... Everyone knew about this film. And it was good.
I believe the first Insidious came out because, obviously, a weird thing is Patrick Wilson is in Insidious and The Conjuring as like a main antagonist.
Yeah.
Protagonist, sorry. And I think the first Insidious came out, and then when the second Insidious came out, the same year Conjuring came out.
Yeah, so I've just looked up. Yeah, Insidious was 2010. So like this is mad. I was 15, and I'm going to be 31 when this film comes out. Like this franchise has been around a long time. Listen,
and pushed films out as well.
Yeah, I've got my thoughts on the franchise. The first one's good.
Yeah.
The second one is good. I have seen the others once, and I will quite happily not watch them again. I am not a massive fan of Insidious. Like, I do, like I said, really like the first couple, but there was such a fatigue around them. And I believe
this is the 6th film.
I believe so. So I've got,
it's Insidious and Chapter 2, Chapter 3.
The Last Key.
Last Key and Red Door.
That's it. Yeah. And I know I've definitely seen The Last Key because I remember not enjoying it. That's, Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, they absolutely kill it in that first one. Don't get me wrong. We will absolutely watch this film.
Of course.
Because it's a new horror film. It's not uncommon for a franchise to maybe start well, lose a bit of traction, then pick it up again. Like, best example is Saw. Saw is my favorite horror film franchise of all time. You did have, that's gone up and down between releases constantly. So there is every possibility that this new one could be quite good. I have no idea whether James Wan is involved. I know he was a huge part of definitely the first one. I believe the second as well.
Yeah, I don't know if he ended up being like a writer or producer on further ones. But not as heavily involved.
No, and that kind of, again, it's very much like when you take a franchise away from the people who originated it. I think a huge reason why I'm not overly ecstatic about this new one, I was never interested in the concept of the further. And obviously this one is literally called
Out of the Further.
Out of the Further. So it could be good. I'm not going to write it off. The trailer looks fine. There's actually some really fucking creepy parts to this trailer.
Yeah, the dentist bit. I don't like teeth or dentist anyway, so immediately that's got me backed up.
No, the bit that got me and my wife to the point where we watched what were we watching? Maybe a scary movie the other day. We were watching it at the cinema, and it's the bit with the mattress fort where she goes in, and being the horror veteran I am, you could kind of tell that when she sees a face down the end, I was like, something else is going to happen. It's either going to jump.
You don't fuck with that.
Yeah, it's going to jump. One's going to drop down, and then one just comes out from the side. And Mel, my wife, literally just went, "No, thank you." And it's when, and this is so Mel's got a real thing about when bodies move in really unnatural ways. The perfect example is in Hereditary. Tony Collette's character is banging her head off the ceiling. Yeah, Mel was not a fan of that. So this new one, when you've got this, I don't know if it's a demon, a monster, whatever, kind of chasing the main character really quickly, and I think it does have potential to be a little bit scary.
We'll see. Like we said, Insidious, very up and down. Can they bring it back or not? We are not sure. But
I hope so.
Still going towards the end of the year, we'll end on a film that we've discussed. Not this one. This is going to be the one before the end. But this is a film we've both talked about, which we are very excited for because of what the director made beforehand. And that is on Christmas Day, Werwulf is coming out, directed by Robert Eggers, who, as we all know, directed Nosferatu, which was literally my film of the year all the way throughout last year until right at the end, but 100% my favourite horror of last year. What are your thoughts on Werewolf, even though we don't have many details on it currently?
No. He loves a seasonal release, doesn't he?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Nosferatu came out on New Year's Day. This is coming out Christmas Day.
He likes to make sure you don't have to spend time with your family, doesn't he?
What, you're not going with your family to watch Nosferatu?
No, I didn't. I'm fairly glad I didn't. I think it's the having Eggers attached to this film, and I feel like it's got quite a good cast.
Yeah, it's got Aaron Taylor-Johnson back in it, Lily Rose Depp, Willem Dafoe, Ralph Ineson. So really stacked cast of people that Robert Eggers has worked with before.
Yeah, see, that's already such a green flag. Yeah, I mean, Lily Rose Depp killed it in Nosferatu. I know that her performance became a bit of a meme from people that don't watch horror films, but if you watch the context of the film,
she was fantastic.
She's unfucking believably good. Yeah. And so was Skarsgård. But we're not talking about Nosferatu as much as I want to talk about Nosferatu. So I guess in itself, that's a reason why I'm looking forward to this film. Listen, I know fuck all about it. All I know is it's just a goth horror period piece.
I mean, there's this massive revival of classic monster horrors, which I think Robert Eggers is trying to take control of and push forward. Like Nosferatu was obviously like a 1910, 1920s classic silent film, which has had so many depictions all the way through. Werewolf is another classic monster horror story where I feel like we haven't had a really good werewolf film in a long time. And the fact that Robert Eggers took Nosferatu, made it what he did, made it artistic, made it full of like such acting talent. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing Willem Dafoe again. I think he's one of the best working actors. Like his facial expressions, the way he can move his body, the stacked cast, the setting. I think it's set in medieval Britain as well. So again, they're taking it back to like its roots. And like you said, this gothic horror story, which we've seen him do work with so well before in the past. He's great with like black and white. He's great with color grading. I think this has potential to maybe be the best horror film of the year, which could also be the last horror film that we see this year. And we haven't even got a trailer or any more details about it. It's just Robert Eggers, the actors attached to it, and what the potential could be with it.
Yeah, I can honestly see it coming in and having every reason to snatch title of the year. Yeah. You know, you got to look at what it's going up against, like so far. You know, I'm not going to, because we're going to do a top 5 of the year. Yeah. To be honest, I mean, it's going to be no surprise that my number one as of today, right now, is Obsession.
No way. Whoa.
It could be. Even though earlier today, little secret before we record next week, I was thinking it might not be number one. I think what it is, now I'm going to leave this in, because I just want your thoughts. And this is completely unrelated to just Obsession, before we finish this episode. My thing with this was we did an episode. It was our first episode, and I talked about how much I fucking adored that film.
Yeah.
I have found myself, so every time I open Twitter, every time I open Instagram, or whatever, since it has hit the mainstream,
yeah,
I'm so fucking bored of seeing anything obsession related. Because now, so this is me being a colossal knobhead. And bear with me. I discovered Billie Eilish's music when she was at the very start of her career. I have been an OG Eilish fan since day one. I actually got the hump when she got massive because I was like, oh, everyone knows who she is now. And everyone's now having an opinion on someone or something. Same with Obsession. I'm like, I liked it when it was my thing. But yeah, I think what it is with something like Obsession is because so much of it is easy to kind of theorize and dissect that you've got people who don't do that with films, who are so used to watching more mainstream films that they're watching this film that has the room to theorize and the room to speculate, and it does make people feel clever. But it's just I think there's a little bit of fatigue around Obsession at the minute, purely because it has been so big for the past 4 or 5 weeks. Which is why I'm really looking forward to whenever it comes on home release, just being able to sit and watch it and just be like, no, it's still probably the best film of the year. But back to Werewolf. Out of the whole list, I think this is the only one. As much as I'm looking forward to Evil Dead, as much as I'm looking forward to Resident Evil, I believe Werewolf is the biggest threat to being my number one this year.
It's the strong contender, yeah. Very strong contender. But we will end the episode on a little film that is getting released in August, which a Red Band trailer just got released for last week. As it is summer, let's talk about Ice Cream Man. To end the episode on.
It's coming out. So we talked about this before we started. We were talking about what films we were going to talk about. Apparently this film has nothing to do with the original.
No, there was a 1995 cult classic B film called The Ice Cream Man. It has nothing to do with this. This is an original story written and directed by Eli Roth, who I know burns very hot and cold with people. And the trailer for it came out and it just looked like weapons, but the kids are killing people.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, I think this is a bit of a sleeper because no one is really expecting that much of it. I think people... it is called The Ice Cream Man. It is the identical title to the one that came out 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Of course people are going to tie it to that. That's not a film it's not a film that was loved. It's got a bit of a cult following. Eli Roth, listen, he's a divisive character to say the fucking least. Regardless of what you think of him as a person, you've got to look at his body of work. Hostel. The Hostel franchise is big for a fucking reason. I don't love it. I don't dislike it. And he's done a lot of stuff. He's
Cabin Fever was another one.
Green Inferno as well. Is a genre. We watched it not long ago for the first time. What a fucking good film. It's weird as fuck, and even like he knows what he's doing. Like, I think people have a tendency to kind of, when it comes to him, really underestimate what he can do. I think it's going to be a summer. Do you want to call it a slasher? Maybe. It's bloody as fuck. But I think that's kind of, listen, it's coming out in the middle of summer. I think it's going to be a bit of a fun time. Do I think it's going to be game changing? No. Do I think it's going to be shit? Not really. I think it's going to be, this is the one film I think is really just going to be exactly what you think it's going to be.
Yeah, and I think if bars and expectations are as low as what they sort of are for it, maybe you can have fun with it when you go in and watch it. Maybe you can have a good time with it. But that's only if your expectations are, or the bar is that low, which it sort of is, because like you said, I think you're going to get exactly what you see on the tin with this film. It's not going to be any big surprises. And if there is, then, absolutely fair play to it. But I think what you see is what you get with The Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to call it an episode.
We'll put a flake in it and charge £7 for it.
While we're on the subject of ice cream, and this is staying in, by the way, this is staying in. So I was driving back. I got tattooed yesterday, and I was like, I'm a little bit peckish. And this is why it's weird, because I didn't think we'd be discussing this film today. Stupidly. Yeah. I stopped, and Cornetto have started doing ice cream sandwiches, and they are fucking unreal, mate. Next time we go somewhere, I'll grab you one, because they're fucking
hell
class.
Yeah. And that is I want this to be on record, by the way.
I'll buy you, mate. Fucking like they're £1.80 as well. They're dead cheap.
Oh, come on, let's go.
I'm gonna get one today.
Well, thank you very much for watching Talk Scary to Me. That was our most anticipated horror films for the rest of the year. Make sure you drop your most anticipated films for the rest of the year in the comments. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. This was Talk Scary to Me. We'll see you very soon.
Cornetto ice cream sandwich.